Was late, and I just had to go live real quick here. Um, so I was looking for my video. I was called and I was informed that a video that we had did a couple of weeks ago was no longer up, and it's called "A Conversation with Eric Sutton." That video, for some reason or another, disappeared, and I have a copy. I'll be putting it back up. And once again, that video is called "A Conversation with Eric Sutton, 32nd 90th degree." What's up, brother? How you doing, brother Eddie? I know it's late, bro, but I just had to do it. I just got out of my lodge meeting, so I just had to do it this way. But the title of this video is why we chose Ancient Free Accepting Masons. Why did we choose that marquee? And I know that this Grand Lodge that once I'm a member of, for the one I'm a member of, is named John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California. It's named after John G. Jones for his dedication to Freemasonry. It is not founded by him, but is named after him for, like I said, his dedication not only to Freemasonry, but his dedication to the African American community. If you know anything about John G. Jones in his life, you will be amazed of the service that this man has put out. And I'm quite honored that we have done that. Grand session, June 23rd, June 22nd and 23rd. That's in Louisiana. All right, all right. I might be able to pop that through. You never know. I appreciate that. So I just want to let you know, when people say, well, you know what? Oh, you're first. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So when people say, hey, you guys are not regular Masons, so why are you claiming ancient, free, and accepted Masons? And, you're this and you're that. Well, tonight I want to break that down to you as far as why this Grand Lodge, John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California, ancient, free, and accepted Mason, chose that marquee. Is because in the beginning and the foundation of this Grand Lodge, I realized as a young master Mason, as a young Mason coming through, it was the ancient that attracted me. So when I started looking into the ancient, I wanted to know what was so special about the ancient. So I looked that word up, and it has a significant meaning. And I would tell you to do the same thing, because when you think of something ancient, you think of something old, something that has the beginning of it all, the setting of its all of everything. When you think of ancient, um, and when I started to indulge myself in that, I came across a few books, and I'm going to share them with you. This here book is one that my lodge members like to have when we go through this. This is called The Ancient Masonry, the Spiritual Meaning of Masonry, the Degrees, Rituals, and Symbols. This book is deep. It's deep. And I tell anybody to get this one. And I have another one here I want to share with you. This one is The Lost Keys of Freemasonry. It's an old book. I'm quite sure there are some that is revised. This is called The Lost Keys of Freemasonry. And this is a good book here. All right, I'll make sure I do that, bro. I'll make sure I hit you up. Um, and here's another one I want to share with you. Masonry and its Symbols. This book here was dedicated to the ancient, free, and accepted Masons. And I tell you, it's a good book to have. It's a good read. Now, it is my belief from my own research. Greetings, brother. It is my belief from my own research. I believe that Masonry, not as we know it today, but Masonry itself, originated out of Africa. That is my belief from my own research, from me reading books, from me doing my own thing. And I tell you the reason why is because when you get into Freemason, you go through the initiation, the passing and raising. It doesn't mention anything about Europe. It talks about King Solomon. And if you are a Bible believer, one who has the Bible, or even one who has the Quran, you will find yourself looking and finding out about King Solomon. Now, I have not only this was a personal gift. I have this. I read this one too. So don't get it twisted when Freemasonry, especially at third degree, when you talk about traveling, yes, everything went through Egypt. There's nothing that didn't go through Egypt. And that's the thing I want brothers to understand. When you talk about Masonry, you talking Africa. You're talking about the continent of Africa. Now check this out. And people say, want to prove that, Hawkins, prove it. Well, just open your ritual and look at it. When they talk about King Solomon or the legend of King Solomon, that is basically what it's called. Jesus also, Jesus also went through Egypt. So when they talk about the when they talk about King Solomon in the Masonic ritual, it is called the legend of Hiram Abiff, or the legend of King Solomon. When you look at those things, where does it take place? If it's a legend, where does it take place? Why doesn't it take place in Europe or France or any of those countries that practice Masonry as we know it today, and we consider them regular Masons? Why doesn't it mention that? Those places. It mentions Solomon. It mentions the continent of Africa. It asks the wayfaring man, where are you traveling? To Ethiopia. Where is that? It's in Africa. And then it talks about Joppa and how the lumber is traveled and how they built King Solomon's temple and all of that. So when people say, well, how can you prove it? It's in your ritual. Just take your time and read it from page to page. And I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to share this with you. Go, for real. So a lot of brothers, when you get initiated, passed, and raised, you know how we say, which way you traveling? And I'm not giving away any secrets, because you can go get this stuff. You can go to Nobles. You can buy yourself a Masonic ritual. So don't say Hawkins is putting out secrets. I'm just giving you some facts. I want you to think. So when I lost my thought. But anyway, so when you go pick up your ritual and you read it, take your time and read that ritual. It's some heavy stuff in there, but you got to understand what makes it heavy. What makes masonry masonry. Not that people set up these rules. Grand Lodges got rules. Well, you can't visit here and you can't go here. Those are rules. I'm talking about masonry at its essence. The ancient craft masonry, where people was able to prove themselves to be a mason without all the stigma that we have today. See, the masonry that most of us practice is what we call European masonry. And I would say European masonry because in the essence of ancient customs masonry, ancient customs of Freemasonry, you had the inner apprentice, fellow craft, master mason, royal arc. You had all of that. You didn't become a master mason until you went through the royal arc degree, when you're really looking at masonry. And I have some rituals that run it all together. They talk about inner apprentice, fellow craft, master mason, royal arc. Then you are raised. Yeah, we're talking about that from whence you travel. For real, from whence you travel. Yeah, for real. So when you get into your ritual and you really start to indulge yourself, you will see that everything that takes place in that ritual takes place over in Africa. And like I said again, if it didn't take place there, when it was said it takes place somewhere in New York or York would be somewhere over in England, somewhere like that. It would take place over there. Yeah, I'll be misguided for a long time. But anyway, my thing is that we must take our time and indulge ourselves. Go do our own research and stop leaning and depending on what other people say. And then, because it says, what are you in search of? Well, most of us, we say we're in search of truth. Well, if I find my truth, I'm talking about my truth. My conclusion to something is my truth. It may not necessarily be your conclusion or your truth. You may not already be there. I appreciate that, bro. So we have to consider that. We have to do our own research. Go look at all of the evidence of Freemasonry, all of the signs and symbols. And trust me, there's a lot of signs and there's a lot of symbols in Freemasonry. The thing is that most of us, not all of us, but most of us don't even take the time to indulge ourselves in it because we're too busy. Yeah, for real. We're too busy deciding or going over who's regular, who's irregular, who's clandestine. No, I'm talking about indulge yourself, brother. I don't care what jurisdiction you're in. Indulge yourself in Freemasonry and see what it really has to offer, and to see how it will really enlighten you. Because it says that as an enter apprentice, we are to occupy our minds with useful knowledge. And if that is true, then you have no time for BS. See, you're that beehives. You see that? See, that's who you are, enter apprentice. You are occupying your mind. You're working with everybody. You're doing things constructively. You know, so when you become a fellowcraft, now you're kind of getting somewhere. You can see things a little bit differently, because as an inner apprentice, you occupied yourself. You got into the books. You began to learn. You began to see things. Your eyes began to open. You began to function a different way. Now you're a fellowcraft. Now you want to kind of sit back and kind of grow a little bit. You want to gaze into the stars. You want to look and see how things are made. You want to put geometry. You want to use those seven liberal arts. You want to put those things into play. You know, music, geometry. You want to start focusing on things. And this is where, to me, this is where this book come into play. You know, this is where this book come into play. So I would tell any Masons, you know, don't just settle for your ritual. You know, don't just do that to yourself. And I tell you somewhere, Manly P. Hall is an awesome guy if you want to pick up some good reading. Manly P. Hall is an awesome guy. You know, and as much as people talk about my guy Albert Pike, and I said my guy Albert Pike because of the book he wrote, as much as people like to talk about how he was involved with the KKK and all that stuff, I'm cool with that. And yeah, I do, to a certain extent, believe he was a part of all of that. But the writings of Morals and Dogma, that book is awesome. I have to give it to him. I may not like his life and what he led and the things he did and the things that he said in regards to black people, but the book on Masonry, Morals and Dogma, is a good book. And when you look in it, it deals with a lot of stuff from Africa. A lot of it, at least 80% from what I've read. So when brothers talk to me about, oh, you know, Masonry is a European thing. No, Masonry is an African thing. You tell me of another people who've been hit in the head, brought to the West, buried and left for dead. Neither hook, wink, nor clothes, bare feet, nor naked. You tell me of somebody like that. If it wasn't you, black man, I'm just saying. I'm not angry. I'm just saying. Tell me of another group of people that was like that. And if you are a Mason, you're watching this video, you may be like, what is he talking about? I'm just talking about the essence of Freemasonry, the ancient customs of Freemasonry. See, Masonry has some customs that we don't longer practice anymore because we're too tied up on you're not regular, you're clandestine. We're too tied up on that, so we don't practice. Yes, yeah, they are. Eddie, you crazy boy. So we're too caught up in the BS of Masonry, that stuff that we're too caught up in that in order to enjoy what Masonry has to offer. Yeah, there are some Grand Lodges out there that's pretty messed up. There are. But you know what? That's their business. That's their business. You know, my thing is, for me in this jurisdiction for which I'm a part of, my thing is to really indulge myself in Freemasonry and to enjoy Freemasonry and what it has to offer. And I want to give something back. I don't want to say that, you know, yeah, I was a Mason, but what did you give? What did you do to enhance the organization for which not only you are a part of, but, you know, you claim to have traveled, you claim to have done those things. What did you leave behind for the next person? Did you ever walk past a brother and raise him up, get him up, dust him off, help him to become educated, help him to see a little bit better? Did you do any of those things while you was walking this place? Or did you just play around and then when you became old, you couldn't do anything? This is why it's important to occupy your mind with useful knowledge, brothers. Because when you become a fellow craft, you are like you're in the middle chambers. You're doing some extra stuff. You know, you're making sure that you're right for the task, because when you become a Master Mason, you're not just going to reflect upon a well-spent life. You're going to really, really bring those other brothers along. You're that it factor. You know, you're a Master Mason now. What have you mastered? What have you mastered? That's the thing. You are a Master Mason of what? Of the craft? Have you mastered that? Have you really mastered all that it has to offer, or have you mastered certain aspects of it? And that's what you have to consider. Most people wouldn't dare doing a lot of things that I know I've personally done. And I wouldn't dare do a lot of things most people have done. The goal of the colonized is to always keep us divided. They don't like me. Hey, bro, for those of us who know, you're absolutely right. But there are some who would love to just be where they at. There are some that would love to be where they at. I'm gonna tell you something that happened to me today. This is the truth. I'm not, hey, it happened. So I'm in Target, and I'm walking by looking for some ink, and this brother walked by. He saw my jacket. He's from Haiti, and he pulled me over and said, "Hey, brother, hey, he's an intern apprentice here in California, and he's a part of California Grand Lodge. He's an African American brother, but he's from Haiti." And we was talking. He was like, "Hey, bro, how you doing?" I was like, "I'm all right." He said, "I like your jacket." I said, "Yeah." He said, "You're a Mason, huh?" I said, "I am." He said, "Yeah, I joined the California Grand Lodge." He didn't say California, but I knew the lodge he was talking about. And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Hey, bro, I'm happy for you." He was like, "Yeah." I said, "I'm happy for you." I said, he's like, "Yeah, but I don't see many of us over there." I said, "Well, you know what, bro? It is what it is." But I didn't try to deter him. I wanted to educate him, to let him know that if he's in Freemasonry, he's in it because he wants to be a better man, knowing that he's already a good man. So don't deter. I'm not going to deter you or tell you to leave your Grand Lodge or to do this. I'm not going to do that. That's not me. But what I am going to tell a brother to do is to enlighten himself, to pick up a book, to read it, to get involved, to do all of that. That's what I'm going to tell him to do. I'm not going to tell him that, appreciate it. I'm not going to tell him, because your Grand Lodge isn't recognized, you got to leave. I'm not going to do that to a brother. Masonry is bigger than that. Masonry is bigger than that. I'm hoping that Grand Masters, warden officers would tell their members that, to respect the next man. No, he can't come and visit my lodge, but respect him because he's on that same journey you are on. We may have taken different roads, but trust me, we're on that same journey. And I would hope that brothers realize that and stop with all of the nuances. See, it is my own personal belief that I've come across. Who is the authentic Masonry? Serious question. No one. No one has the authority to be the what you would call the it factor in Freemasonry. People may call the Grand Lodge of England the Mother Grand Lodge, but they never claim that. And read their history too. If you really read the history of the Grand Lodge of England, and then read the history of the United Grand Lodge of England, two separate histories. Oh, for sure. So no one has that real authority over Freemasonry. The only authority over Freemasonry is your Grand Lodge. Period. Because I'm subjective to my Grand Master state. I have to follow the rules of my jurisdiction. So when I took my obligation as a Mason, no, he did not do what they say he did. And and I could prove that. But when I took my obligation as a Mason, I took it under the jurisdiction of John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California. Okay, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna come back to that, brother Eddie. I'm gonna come back to that. So when I took my obligation, I took it up under the authority and jurisdiction of the John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California. Now, in taking that obligation, it mentions certain things in there, and one thing that it really mentions, until I found him or them as worthy and well qualified as I am myself. Now, when I say that, that's what I'm looking for when I talk to a brother. Is he worthy and well qualified as I am myself? And that's when I decide to reach out. And that's when I decide to do a little bit more for that brother. Because he is worthy. He is well qualified. He has been tried and he wasn't denied. See, that's that's an individual thing. And that's what we have to understand in regards to Freemasonry. Now back to the question the brother asked. Did John G. Jones do the things they said he did? Well, I've read several things about what they claim John G. Jones did. They said he was expelled because he was going around making Masons. And they said, and then after they said that he was conversating or affiliating or having Masonic conversation with clandestine Masons, but they never mentioned who the clandestine Masons were that he was talking to, or who he was making Masons on site, or he was selling degrees. I've heard all sorts of things. But I would say this, I've read the works on John G. Jones. I've done my own research. I've watched Brother Christopher Taft out of Texas, out of St. Joseph Grand Lodge. The brother has done extensive research. Brother Amos from out of Chicago, Illinois, Jerusalem Grand Lodge has done tremendous research. Those brothers, and there are more. Brother Alfredo out of H.B. Turner Grand Lodge, he's also done research. Brother Gaines, brothers escape my mind right now. All of them, yes, I believe, yes, he was. All of those brothers that I personally know have done their own research on John G. Jones, including myself. You know, no, he wasn't a perfect guy. No, he wasn't. But I'll tell you one thing about Jones. He didn't back down from anybody. He did not back down from anybody. You have to ask yourself, you know, a man like that, the man was wealthy. So when they say, oh, well, he was thrown in jail, the man was wealthy. The man traveled the world, you know, and he practiced law in 2 states. And you must know by now that Jones never went to college. No, he never went to college. Never. As far as I've come across, the research I've done doesn't state what college he went to. But if you can prove me wrong, I will apologize. I'm one of them guys, I don't mind. If you can say, Hawkins, you're wrong because of such and such and such and such, and it says that, I'm good to go. And that's for any Prince Hall brother out there too. Oh, you're lying. No, show me. Because I know some have said, well, he was expelled. Okay, so they showed me some documents saying that the Grand Lodge of Illinois expelled him. Then they say he was expelled from the Grand Lodge of Massachusetts. I didn't know he had membership in the Grand Lodge of Massachusetts. That's my own personal opinion, and that's what I read from what the documents that they posted. So I'm saying to any of you who is interested in becoming a Mason, when you find that lodge, hey, I don't know what happened to my signal. It went away for a minute. We got some heavy wind. Let me see, bro. What you say? Man knows not being told. Man must be what he's know. That's true. That's true. I would tell any Mason from any jurisdiction, pick up a book and read. Just don't go by what somebody tells you in your jurisdiction. Pick up a book and read it for yourself, you know, and then apply that and see where your Grand Lodge stands in all of that, you know. Are you able to visit other Grand Lodges or the lodges? I'm going to stop saying Grand Lodges. Are you able to visit other lodges outside of your own jurisdiction? You know, when you begin to answer those questions to yourself, then you know that you are where you need to be. You know, when your brothers invite you to dinner, you know where you need to be. The question is, I bet you a lot. I lost signal and my understanding is correct. Yes. I'll tell you this. A lot of brothers who are part of jurisdictions of brothers from different races don't get a chance to go to their home and sit down and meet their families. Because we are creatures like that. And when I say we are creatures like that, that is to clearly say that I have a couple of Filipino brothers in my lodge. And even though I tried very hard to make them feel welcome into the lodge, and they knew me, I've been knowing them for a long time. The difference is that it was the food, it was the commonality, it was all of that. We knew each other. They've been to my house. I went to their house. We hung out. But there was something that was missing for them. So what I did for them brothers is showed them a Filipino lodge. I said, this is where you got to go, bruh. You know, so I'm not going to hold a man back because he wants to move on, because he finds that, yeah, I like this lodge, but there's something missing. I would rather point him in the right direction and say, bro, you know what? This is a lodge you need to be part of. You know, this is an all Filipino lodge. You know, do you, man. And we have a great bond. I see this brother all the time. We have great fellowship. Why is the majority of southern states considered Prince Hall bogus and clandestine? You know what? It goes way back, man. That's the truth. It goes way back. And they're not going to change. And I would hope that Grand Lodge of Prince Hall in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, some of those southern states will realize, hey, you know what? We've been here a long time too. So we're not really asking you to recognize who we are, because we've been here, you know, so it doesn't bother us. And I would say that to my brothers of the Ancient Free and Accepted Masons, John G. Jones. I would say the same thing to you too. Don't worry about who don't recognize you. Build where you at. Strengthen where you at. You know, I would tell you that. Make your foundation stronger where you at. Don't even worry about that. You know, that's my opinion. And that's what we tell our brothers here. You know what? If somebody don't want to invite you to their lodge, don't get upset over that's petty stuff, man. Let that go. You know, even for myself, now I do agitate people. I agitate people. And I know I do it. And I do it for my own gratification and my own reasons. Because I feel that as a black man, before anything else, we should respect each other, regardless of Masonic affiliation. We should always respect each other, period. But when I come across people and they may say, oh, well, you're 4-letter, oh, you're 3-letter, that sounds like some gang mentality to me. I don't have time for it. So yeah, I do agitate it. I do. You know, I say some crazy stuff off the cuff just because, you know. But as a black man, first and foremost, we should respect each other. Then after that, just because I'm a Mason and you're a Mason, we should respect each other. And then we leave that alone. Because having a Masonic conversation don't even matter, because I know what you know anyway. You know, the catechism. I have a catechism, you know. I have a Prince Hall ritual. You know, so let's not do that to each other. Let's enjoy each other's company. That's what we should do. You know, if you want to get to know the person, get to know the person. Who knows? He may be the very one that bails you out of jail. That's a true story. He might be the very one that bails you out of jail. And all I've ever said to anybody, you can go back and look at any of my videos, I would prefer that we love on each other and respect each other before any of this craziness thing. And because that's what Masonry does. You know, that's what Masonry is all about. What happens is we're way over here somewhere. My Grand Lodge was founded in this year. My Grand Lodge was founded in that year. You know what? Masonry is just too big for all of that. Enjoy the craft into apprentice, fellow craft, master mason, those who have been in the organization 50 and 60 years. Enjoy the organization. Enjoy the people that you come across that are a member of various jurisdictions. You know, brothers may say, well, Modern, Free, and International, you know, they ain't even get started right. You know what? So what? They didn't get started right. They didn't get started like you got started. And what's the issue? Oh, I thought so. I thought so. You know what? Those are some good brothers. If you don't want to be a Modern, Free, or International or anything else, move your membership. But when you do it, don't cut those brothers down. When you move your membership, don't cut those brothers down. Because you may very well need them same brothers one day. So don't cut them down and say, well, you know what? Y'all still over there, that clandestine body. Y'all still over there. If that's what they want to be, that's what they want to be. Leave them alone. Go do your thing. You know, if you're like, I had a couple of brothers that was in my jurisdiction, and they admitted, and they went and joined Prince Hall. You know what? And I talked to them every day. Every chance we on the phone chopping it up. I didn't lose any respect for them. They didn't lose anything for me. They just felt that that's where they wanted to be. And if that's where they wanted to be, God bless them. But they still my brothers. And if they call me, I'm coming. Damn right, I'm going. And you can say whatever you want to say. If they call me and they need me, I'm going. That's how I do it. That's how I roll. So we have to set aside those small things that we may feel that separate us and look at the thing that brings us together. You know, that's what we got to look at. There are some things out there that unites us, you know, that brings us together, and that's the focus should be on, those things. But until we get there, we're going to be in bad shape. We're going to be in bad shape. And I'm hoping one day that we get there. But I'm gonna speak on something real quick. I keep going back to this book right here. And I keep going back to it because I want you to go and check it out. You can get it from Nobles and Barnes. You can, man, this book is deep. This is a deep book. And I want you to check it out because, you know what? Once you, bruh, ain't nothing like it. That's all I got to say. Go do your own research and stop depending on somebody to tell you things. And you'll be a lot better off. I think I missed some questions over here. Why is it the majority of southern states consider Prince Hall bogus and clandestine? I think I got to that one. I lost my signal too at one time, bro. I don't know what happened with that. So if you got some other questions you want to hit me up with, go right ahead. I'm just chilling. Like I said, I just got from a lodge meeting, man, and I had a great time. Just the fellowship alone, you know, when you go to your lodge meeting, to get away from home and to be able to have a good conversation with other men about things that concerns men. It's great. And Freemasonry brings us together when we do that. It does. And a lot of times, most of us go to our lodge meetings is beyond the Masonic thing. The reason we're there, you know, it's the camaraderie, it's the friendship, it's the brotherhood. The reason a lot of us go, I ain't got nothing to do tonight, so I'm going to hang out with some real men. It's some brothers that's doing things in their lives, you know. They're not just sitting around waiting. They're actually involved in mainstream Mason, giving Masonry a bad name, in your opinion. It is not mainstream Mason that gives Masonry a bad name. It's black Masons that give Masonry a bad name. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. I say that because of what I see on Facebook. And I'm not going to say all of us. I can't do that. I can't lump everybody in a box. But I will say this, that black Masons, I've seen how we act on Facebook in these groups. And we come at each other, man, out of nowhere. We call each other stupid. We call each other dumb. We call each other ignorant. We do all that. I've seen it. And it's crazy. I'm like, dude, why you have to go that route? And I guarantee you, in these same groups, white Masons just sit back and just, look at there. But they Masons. Look at there. And that is what upsets me a lot of time. Why we have to go that route? Why can't we just be respected or respectable toward each other? You know? Oh, what's up, Rob? Yeah, dog. It's good to see you. Glad you're hanging out. You know? So, but why can't we just be respectable toward each other? And that's the hard thing. You know, I think if we can do that, man, if we can do that, be awesome. And I'll tell you another thing. I got a meeting coming up in about a week with some other grandmasters. I'm no longer a grandmaster in my jurisdiction. I'm the ambassador for my jurisdiction, though. Okay, while black Masons are attacking black Masons, white Masons are talking about both of us not being real. Eddie, boy, you crazy. Yeah, you know, that may be true. You know, so I got a meeting coming up in about a week with a few Grand Masters, and some of the things we want to talk about are some of the things I'm talking about this evening, you know, in regards to Freemasonry and what is it that we can do to strengthen the foundation amongst African American Masons. And I'm going to say the black, ancient, free, and accepted Masons, you know, because that's the movement right now. The movement right now is black, ancient, free, and accepted Mason, bar none. That's the movement. I'm on that horse. I'm going to ride it until I can't ride it no more. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about me loving on my brothers, respecting my brothers, regardless of your jurisdiction. You know, some brothers tell me, Hawkins, you'll never see the day that Prince Hall and John G. Jones ever. I don't even care about that no more. My thing is black, ancient, free, and accepted Mason. That's my concern. That's the horse I'm riding on. You can take that or let it alone. That's what I'm riding on. What you just say, bro? Yes, it is. It is definitely the movement, you know, and there's no turning back. Oh, I appreciate that, DMC, young, you know. We can agree to disagree, and I'm cool with that, man. Because I'm not always going to be right on some things I may say. And if someone want to point me out and say, no, Brother Hawkins, you're wrong, I'm cool with that. I'm really okay with that. I'm okay with being told I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, life goes on. Tomorrow will come. The sun is still in the sky and the earth still rotates. It still does its thing, you know. So that's how we have to treat each other, though. That's how we have to treat each other. If we don't love on each other, who's going to do it? Every day, bro, for real, all day, every day. If we don't love on each other, if we don't take care of each other, who's going to do it? And that's the thing. I'm hoping that all Masons, be it black, white, Filipino, red, brown, we as a people, not just black people, but as a human race, we got to take care of each other. And we got some bad people. Can you, as ancient accepted Scottish Rite brother, come to? Yeah. I didn't quite get that question, but can ancient accepted Scottish Rite brother come to? I didn't quite understand that one. You may have to add a little bit more to it. But you know, my thing is and it has always been, pick up a book and read it. Do your own research. Don't rely on nobody. Do your own research and come to your own conclusion, which becomes your truth. And then if somebody's able to show you something different that may enlighten you or enhance you, then you add to that. You add to that. And I'm going to say this. You know, the unique thing about being a Mason is that we're always supposed to be civil. Yeah, we're supposed to be civil toward each other, respectable toward the next man. And this is what sets this fraternal order apart. Can we help with the movement? Yeah, you can help with the movement. Oh, man. Chicago in July. You can definitely help with the movement. I don't have my calendar. I think it's like the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th of July, Chicago. That's where I'm going to be at. Oh, for sure. You can definitely help by coming and fellowshipping and just meeting the nobles, you know, meeting the brothers. I'm looking at having a great time. I'm going to be in Chicago. Oh, no doubt about it. If I can't make it, it's beyond my control. But as long as if it's in my control and I can get there, oh, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. I gotta be there for this one. Keemus Amos, I gotta be there for this one. And I hope I get to see some of you there. So back to what I was saying. Here's something else I want to share with you. Check that out. This is clearly the ancient Arabic order nobles of Mr. Shrine of North America. This is written that way. Okay? It's written that way. This is just one of the handouts that we use here in California. You know, it's this thing is how to when you're going through the conversation with another noble. You know, I kind of like that. And then what I like to see, especially for the nobles, you know, when you cross those desert sands after you've done your due, I would hope that you go get one of these. If you are a noble, you should get one of these. You really, really should. And understand what just took place. Noble, you know, understood what just took place. You know, if you cross the devil path, stop by the well of Zim, you know, stopped and you rubbed on that black rock a little bit, you know, go do your thing and pick up a Quran along the way. Oh yeah, you worship at the shrine. Okay, all right. Well, I'm quite sure you stopped by the Wailing Wall too, huh? Quite sure you did that. Yeah, okay, all right. But that's the uniqueness. That right there, that brother stopped and said, well, you know, he stopped and he worshiped at the shrine. That's all I'm saying, you know. I'm just saying that. This is the beauty of the whole organization. This is the beauty of it, you know. And I could talk all night because I've had a great lodge meeting, you know, and just being able to conversate with some of you tonight is a beautiful thing. I'm coming up on, I was taught to have nothing to do with white Masons from the difference order 20 years ago. I teach a class always to be respectful and meet men on common ground. Respect all men on the path. Boom. DMC. Young. Bruh. Now that right there, that's on point. I can agree with that 110%, bruh. I can agree to that. Now that's on point. I think I've been all over the place tonight. Let me see. I got another book over here somewhere. This book right here. Oh, you see that? This book right here. Yes, you gotta get it. You gotta get this one. This one is deep. Yes, it's deep. Let this mind be in you. Renewing the mind. Let this mind be in you, bruh. This right here, this is a deep book. I love it. The Messenger. You need to stop. You don't know nothing about that? Man, you don't know nothing about that. You need to stop. Bruh. Yeah. You need to stop. I love that book, man. I think I read that book twice, and I'm getting ready to read it again. Because the more I read it, other things pop up. Other things pop up because everything. You want to go to heaven? People dying to get there. You want to go to heaven? That book right there, man. And my thing is this. I remember when I became an editor apprentice, and it said to rise, follow your guide, and fear no danger. You know what? I went and done my own little research on that. I did. And ancient terms and customs is a little different than follow your guide and fear no danger. It is. It is to follow your God and fear no danger. Something to think about, isn't it? Yeah. So you enter apprentices, and whoever is watching this, I know they're like, this guy here is like, yeah. You really shed some light. That's why you're disliked. Oh shit. Oh, I'm sorry. But Yeah. So you enter apprentice when you guys first come in, man. You boom. It says rise, follow your guide. No. Let's look at this thing. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. It's follow your God and fear no danger. And you know why he says follow your God and fear no danger? Who do you put your trust in? Boom. There it is. This thing is deep. But hey, I'm just saying, a lot of brothers don't get like that because they, oh, it's, free. I'm a Freemason and I can, oh yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. Now check this out. So when it says to rise and follow your God and fear no danger. So when you begin that journey, check this out. When you begin that journey, remember that when you walked around, when you did that walk around, that really means something. That really means something. The point that it means is that when you are the point in the center, you are the point in the center, and when you begin to make that complete circle, that 360-degree circle, because that's what you end up making eventually, somebody missed that point. Somebody missed it. And it gets deeper than that. Because if you read Psalms 23, Psalm 23. I'm going to check this out. Check this out. I got something for you. I got something for you. This is just how deep it gets. But a lot of people pass it on by. A lot of people passing on by. So check this out. So as a Mason, when we're on our journey, when you are initiated, passed, and raised, you're on a journey, right? So check this out. Listen closely to this. I'm reading to you Psalms 23. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leadeth me into the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod, and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou presenteth a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." Now check this out. The reason I read that is because when you begin your journey, there's somebody with you with a rod, protecting you as you go on your journey. You are not supposed to fear anything because it says, who do you put your trust in? Your trust being well founded. Rise and follow your God and fear no danger. Now that's the ancient customs. Now today it says to rise and follow your guide and fear no danger. I'm just saying. I'm just going at it, because what happens is a lot of brothers don't get that deep. A lot of brothers don't go at it like that. And I go at it like that because I have a lot of damn books. That's all. I have a lot of books. And I tell other brothers too, get yourself some good books, man. I'm telling you, there's a lot of good books on Freemasonry that gets real deep. Whether it be esoteric or esoteric. And I'm going to share this with you. Here's something too. So, when, during the days of Christ, when they was traveling, and they did travel, top of the morning, my brother, what's up? Top of the morning, So, here's some crazy stuff. So, during the time of Christ, when the brothers were traveling, and trust me, they were traveling from city to city. And when the Christians was being crucified, they didn't necessarily walk past another Christian or a brother to identify themselves as such. The symbol of Christianity is not the cross. I said it. The symbol of Christianity is not the cross. It's not. What are you talking about? The symbol of Christianity is the fish. Ooh, that was a warning sign. Okay, so the symbol of Christianity is the fish. Really? No, it's not the cross. You was given that. You was given that. The symbol of Christianity is the fish, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when the Christian was being crucified, when they was being like just manhandled, just wiped out, in order for you to know that that person was a Christian, you drew one half of the fish, they drew the other half. And then they will talk, and then they were in the dirt, then they will wipe it away. This is why even in your oath, you swore that you would not stamp, carve, stain, print on anything movable, immovable, tangible, or intangible. I'm just saying. That's why it went down like that. So if I'm a Christian and you're a Christian, but I didn't want nobody to know because right now we being killed. We being slaughtered. When I stop, I just draw half a fish. And then you draw the other half, and then I would know who you are. And then I would just mess it all up in the ground. And then we would have that conversation. But until then, if you didn't draw the other half, there would be no conversation. None at all. Because you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. So I'm saying this thing we call Freemasonry is deep. The ideal is that we're so caught up in doing other stuff till we miss out on the benefit of being a Freemason because we want to go have a drink with the brothers in the club and we want to throw it up. You know, that's what we want to do instead of really indulging ourselves in something that's going to really benefit us and get us to think. Is there any Masons you won't conduct Masonic business with? Yeah, there are Masons I won't conduct Masonic business with. If I know that you foul. If I know you foul. No, we good. But no, you do you, bro, not do me. You know, it's personal because I know you personal. You know, but I'm going to respect you. I'm going to speak to you. I'm not just going to shun you away. I just won't do business with you. You know, and no, I'm not going to tell somebody else don't do business with you either. You know why? Because that's between me and you. So I'm not going to ruin your reputation because you and I are at odds. That's childish. That's playground stuff. If you're a Mason, I'm a Mason, me and you are at odds. I'm not going to tell Johnny don't talk to you. That's what kids do. Now, if you're a really bad person, if you're really that doggish, Johnny going to find out. Because he's going to ask, well, why isn't he messing with you? Who is the author of Let This Mind Be in You? Hold on, I get that to you, DMC. So my thing is that, no, I'm not that guy. If I don't deal with you, that's between me and you. But I'm not going to tell somebody else don't deal with you. I just say, you know what, we just had a disagreement, you know, and leave it at that. Oh, I think he just posted it. Yep. There you go. Right here. Thank you. I appreciate you posting that. You know. So that's my thing. I mean, I'm not going to trip. I've never been that way. And I thank God I'm not that way in the process of that. If a brother may have a disagreement, that means I'm not going to like that other brother. No. I don't know. I'm not. I tell you what, if you ask me, I say, you know what? He and I just don't get along. We just don't see eye to eye. you know, and then I'll let you make up your own mind, your own decision. But I would definitely tell you that he and I don't see eye to eye. We just don't get along, you know. Yo, all right, cool, you know. Now that's how I would do it. Now somebody else may see something totally different. They, you know, they may just say, hey, you know, they just may say, well, I see it this way. When if you do, you do, you know. I don't know what, let's see. Oh man, it's about 20 minutes after 11 on the West Coast time. I don't know what it is on the East Coast time. If you're on the East Coast, just hit me up, let me know you're on the East Coast. And I certainly appreciate you tuning in tonight. My meeting got over about maybe an hour and a half ago, you know, and man, it's been a great day today. I tell you that. 2:15, bro, where you at? Yeah, you gotta tell me where you at. 2:15, 2:15. Let's see. Oh, that's that New York, New York, New York, big city dreams. But anyway, so look, Georgia. Wow. Hey, what Grand Lodge you part of out there in Georgia, bro? You know, so East Coast DMC. All right. That must be far East Coast DMC. But anyway, bro, what Grand Lodge you're part of there in Georgia? Hit me back. You can inbox me too. You can look me up on Facebook. Boom, there it is. And but definitely, I ain't got nothing else to add, brothers. I've just enjoyed the fellowship tonight and enjoyed the conversation with you all. And you know what? If there's something comes up and you want to add something to this, 1/6 Arkansas. Oh yeah. You know what? I'm coming back to Arkansas because I'm coming to Mississippi in July. Oh yeah. Florida tribe. Oh man, Florida. Bro, do you know what time it is in Florida? That's a whole nother day's journey. It's got to be at least 3 in the morning in Florida. 3 in the morning. And you up with me on the West Coast. Woo-hoo-wee. All of my camera milk is almost gone. And I'm going to have to replenish in a minute. But this has been great. You know, so if you got questions for me, bro, or any of you, you know, I try to be 218. Oh, okay, that's not bad. 218, okay. 120. All right, Illinois. I'll be in Chicago, July, for the Ancient Arabic Order Nobles of the Mission Shrine, celebrating 125 years. Oh, yes. You know we got to get down, right? We're going to have some fun, right? I'm looking forward to it, right? You know, man, you know what? Between, let me see, June, July, August. If you're a Mason, you traveling. What's up, Vincent? I tell you what, May, June, July, and early August, I added early August. If you're a Mason, you're doing some traveling. And it's just that simple. You're going to Grand Session, you're going to Supreme Session, you're going somewhere. Do Masons nowadays learn anything from the ancient mysteries of School of Egypt? No, they don't. Some do. I'll say this here. In the jurisdiction for which I'm in now, my jurisdiction, we do that. I can't talk for other jurisdictions. I can't. But I would say in this jurisdiction, we get down. We get down. We talk about the ancient schools of Egypt. We talk about those schools and what they was really teaching in regards to Freemasonry. And I'm gonna tell you, if you open a 3rd degree, and if you have a Lester's or a Duncan's or a Lester or Duncan's, there's another one. Ryan's. I'm gonna tell you this. At the beginning of the 3rd degree lecture, it says you're now entering the esoteric side of Freemasonry. McCoy's. Oh, okay. It says that. It says that. But what happens is brothers who get initiated, passed, and raised, once they get raised, you probably don't even see them at the lodge meeting no more for a couple of months. You don't. You don't even see them. You know why you don't see them? Because they figure they've gotten all they're going to get. They know the catechism. They know the key words to use. They know the grips. They know some of the signs. So they satisfied. So they done paid their money to your lodge. So now they don't even want to come back to see you because they figure they've gotten it all. They know it all per se. So they good. And this is where you lose your membership. All right, Vincent. Thanks, bro. So, and this is where you lose your membership. You should always have them coming back. I'm currently trying to join, but there is some confusion in the lodge I'm trying to join. Since I'm Jewish, they are confused about if I can swear on my religion, Bible, which is the Torah. Bro, look. You're Jewish and you want to become a Mason, you can become a Mason. I know of a Jewish lodge right here in San Diego. For real. They're Jewish. They do. And there's nothing wrong with it. So if you're a Jew and you want to become a Mason, become a Mason. The only thing is that you just have to take the obligation on your Bible. You know? You don't necessarily have to say, I promise and swear. You can say, I promise and abide by all the rules and regulations of this wishful lodge. I can quote that whole thing, but I'm just saying. Hey, they shouldn't be in a confusion. You are a man well recommended, of lawful age. Did they do an interview with you? And if they did the interview with you, apparently they found that you was worthy and well qualified. You know, you're not an old man in your dunnage. Huh? I'm just saying. Yes, the Torah is a VSL. Yes, sir, it is. So there's no reason that brother couldn't become a Mason. Because there are Jews who are Masons. There are Filipinos who are Masons. There are Indians who are Masons. There are African Americans who are Masons. There are people who are from Haiti who are Masons. I met them tonight. There are plenty. I said, give my word. I said, I give my word in place of swear. That's all you're going to give is your word. That's all any man has is his word. Even I promise and swear. All you're doing is giving your word, bruh. And if they can't accept that, then that's not a lodge you need to be a part of. That's the truth. All you got as a man is your word. You don't have to be a Mason, but all you got is your word. And if your word is mud, then nobody's going to really mess with you. That's truth. So if somebody or that lodge in there can't accept your word, then you need to go find another lodge. I'm going to keep saying that. Masonry is a beautiful thing, but there's some ugly people in it. It is, and that's truth. So when you're dealing with a lodge who says, well, you have to swear, no, bruh, you're giving your word. Because your word is all you got. And once it's given, it can't be taken or set aside. It goes out. It doesn't come back void. This is why when we pray, when you pray, Lord, I ask that my words be not in vain. Why do you say that? Because you want your words to go out and come back and not be voided. Yes. Oh, you did? I said I give my word in place of swear. Oh, okay. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm going to say this here. See, this is how powerful your word is. In the beginning, when God, the big G, was doing his thing, doing her thing. I said her. I'll come back to you later. But when God was doing his thing, right? And God said, when God said, things were created because of his word. You as a person, a being who's created in God's image, has that same power. The ideal is we don't even tap that. Somebody asked me about, who do I put my trust in? I said, God. Well, who is God? I said, I'm a God. They looked at me like I was crazy. I'm a small God. And I'm not crazy, because if I'm created in the image of God, then I am a small God. Your sons, your daughters are just like you. They're created in your image. Come on, guys. I said I give my word in place of swear. Oh, okay. Okay. So, that keeps popping back up. I'm missing something. Oh man, I'm missing a whole lot. Yes, but they said Prince Hall is predominantly a Christian sect. They said they are saying I will have to basically accept the New Testament whilst. Look, bruh. Who is that? Big Blake. I'm talking to you, Big Blake. Bruh. You need to find yourself another lodge. It could be another Prince Hall lodge, but find yourself another lodge. When someone tells you that you can't be a Mason because you must swear upon the Holy Bible and you must accept the New Testament, that is false. Because let me tell you why. Because I've had brothers in my lodge that would not put their hands on the Bible. So we had to say, okay, well, how do you want to take your obligation? They said they would take their obligation upon the Constitution of the lodge, or Grand Lodge Constitution. I ain't have no issue with that, because they promised to abide by all the rules and regulations of this Worship Lodge dedicate. I can roll the whole thing. I'm just saying. Yo, bro, that's unmasonic. What's unmasonic? That's false. That's right. So what's unmasonic if a brother don't want to take his oath on the Bible, but he chose to take his oath on the Quran or on the Torah? Am I missing that? Is that unmasonic? Because he chose to? I mean, I'm just asking a question, because I know I've had brothers to take their obligation on the Constitution of the lodge because they felt, well, you know what? I believe in a supreme being, but it's not that God that you may think. So I will prefer taking it upon the Constitution of this Grand Lodge. I think it was with reference to trying to change his religion's belief. Oh, okay. All right, Brother Vincent. I appreciate that. Okay. Oh, yeah. They can't, yeah. You take the obligation on the book of your faith. Boom. There it is. You take the obligation on the book of your faith, brother. What's that brother name? Big what? Big Blake. You read it down there. Say you take the obligation on the book of your faith, bruh. That's what you take your obligation on. And don't let nobody change your mind. They tripping. They own something, bruh. That's real. You know, you take the obligation on the book of your faith. Period. That's how you do that. Everyone else's concept of God is different. People fail to realize that. Absolutely. People do fail to realize that. And this is where Masonry really, this is what I really like about Masonry. Because it regards no man for his religious beliefs. Let me see it. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. I like that when. Oh yeah, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah. But for sure, man. I mean, brother Big Blake, I want you to find your lodge, brother, and you know, where you're going to be appreciated and welcome. And when you find that lodge, man, that's going to be the best place for you because you're going to learn a lot. You know, you are. And I say that because I believe you're going to be that type of brother that's going to really respect Freemasonry for what it is. You're not going to be locked in a box. I don't think any Freemason should lock himself in a box to such a dog, to such in a dog fashion, to you can't think outside the box. If you do that to yourself, then you've lost the cause of being a Freemason. If you're just going to take a stance and say this is it, this way or no way, this is it. If you're going to take that stance, you've lost the cause of being a Freemason, because the fellowcraft degree is already blown you away because of the seven liberal arts, the seven wonders of the world, all of that. You know, the stars and the moon and the sun and all of that. You know, that second degree, it gets deep. But if you lock yourself in a box and say boom, 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 you have no way to move. You can't travel when you lock yourself in a box. You can't do that. And Freemasonry, to me, my opinion, allows you to come out that box. It allows that because it regards no man for his religious beliefs. This is why it says that, you know, in Freemasonry, that you have to believe in a supreme being. You know, if you believe in yourself that you're a supreme being, well, you're a supreme being. You know, I mean, do you believe that you are a supreme being? You know, there's some brothers that believe that. They really do. I had to replenish, you know. So check this out. All of this is my office. This is, I tell you what, every man should have an office or a getaway, man. I mean, all of this. From there, all the way here is mine. Come on, take a journey with me. So check this out. So, that's my library right here, right? All the way up there, I got a complete encyclopedia thing, you know, complete encyclopedia. I got journals on Freemasonry. You know, so I got my whole thing right there. So come on, go with me. Come on, go this way. I don't know if you can see it, but those are all of my certificates in Freemasonry. You know, this right here is my 95th certificate, my 95th degree certificate right there. You know, I don't know if you can see all of those or not. Yeah, every man should have one. I'm just saying. That's all of this, bro. I come back here and I chill every night. Just want to just chill for real. Oh yeah, bruh, you gotta do it. You gotta get into it. You have to get into it. You know, but like I said, every man should have a room where they can just leave and just go chill. They ain't gotta worry about nobody bother them. You know, so I call this the outback. So I'm in the outback. That's what I call it. But that's for real, you know. That's for real. I just have to show that, man. You know, and be proud of where you at too. You know, be proud of where you're at. If you, whatever lodge you're in, and them brothers doing right by you, be proud of where you're at, and wear the Masonic emblem with pride, and enjoy the craft. You know, you're gonna come up across some people who are gonna say this and say that, but man, don't even worry about it, bro. The Masonry is bigger than this. And I tell you, Mason, leave the United States. Travel outside of these borders. Yeah. When you get outside these borders, man, oh man, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Trust and believe that. And I'm ain't nothing like it. And I tell you, the brothers on the Bahamas, them brothers treat you with love. The brothers in Haiti, them brothers treat you with love. The brothers in Cuba, them brothers treat you with love. I'm telling you, you got it, man. if you really want to just see what Masonry is really all about, leave the United States. Man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But a lot of us never get that opportunity because, you know, but I tell you, save your coins, save your dimes, plan a trip. And when you plan it, wear your jacket on the plane. And when you get off where you're ever going to get off at, brother, trust me, you're going to enjoy the craft because people are going to see that jacket. Oh, you're a Mason. Yes. Now, I tell you this shit too. Some countries don't want you to wear anything saying that you're a Mason. So just be careful. Make sure wherever you go, you're okay to wear it. You know, you're okay to wear it. I gotta go to bed, bruh. Got a meeting in the morning, travel light. Big Rob, you be safe, bruh. You be safe. I should be going to bed too. It's almost 12 o'clock, you know? But hey, gentlemen, you need to come to Orlando, Florida, 2 hours. And now, you know what? Who knows? Who knows? But check it out. I'm going to go, gentlemen.